Not so long ago, we examined Pokemon with nightmare-fueling backstories.
And so we turn to Palossand's Moon Dex entry, which informs us that buried beneath the castle are masses of dried up bones from those whose vitality it's drained, as illustrated by this charming artist's impression of it murdering a Pikachu. Not being funny or anything, but does someone want to go over and check on the Pokemon team? You know, just make sure they're all alright, getting enough fresh air?
But then two things happened. First, we finally stopped screaming, and second, we realised that those weren't the only Pokemon with spine-chilling secrets, and that there are plenty more seemingly adorable beasties out there whose creepy backstories would turn your stomach, quite literally in some cases. Whether they're harvesting souls or just setting fire to a child's house, here are even more Pokemon that are secretly terrifying. Sorry.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Gorebyss!
Really?
Any oceanographer will tell you that the sea is full of horrors and that oceanography is the devil's work. Pokemon reflects this, of course. Consider the toothsome Sharpedo or the sinister Tentacruel, for example, which both sound as horrible as they are. So what would you imagine that this ocean-dwelling Pokemon is called?
Sweetie fish? Elegant?
Try Gorebyss! This slender rose-coloured fish Pokemon looks like it would be mostly found classing up a tropical aquarium or charming the heck out of Pokemon trainers in the wild, with its long eyelashes and hypnotic waving tail. But don't get too close, because according to Gorebyss's Pokemon Sapphire Pokedex entry, although Gorebyss is the very picture of elegance and beauty while swimming, it is also cruel. When it spots prey, this Pokemon inserts its thin mouth into the prey's body and drains the prey of its body fluids. And here you were thinking there probably aren't any Pokemon that will stab you with their mouth and drink your insides. You sweet summer child. While you try to shake the image of Gorebyss's pointed mouth sliding into your abdomen to drain the liquids that keep you alive, you might like to know that Pokemon Ultra Moon's Pokedex adds the detail that leftover meat sinks to the seafloor where it becomes food for other Pokemon. So, circle of life? Oh, and finally, Gorebyss may look small, but is canonically just shy of 2 meters long, so when that mouth punctures you, you're really gonna know about it. 2 meters! That's like dolphin proportions, but a dolphin that drains your insides out like a human juice box.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's
Lampent!
Oh,
lamp.
hate its eyes. Hate the eyes.
How much damage can a lamp possibly do? Ah! Ow! That was clearly rhetorical!
I said sorry.
But to be honest, as soon as you get a look at Lampent, a luminous species first introduced in Pokemon Black and White, it should be clear that all is not well. For one thing, it's part ghost type, which, as we're learning, usually means there's something grim going on, usually involving souls. And indeed, Lampent's Black and White 2 Dex entry begins, the spirits it absorbs fuel its baleful fire, which means that candle is kept lit by burning up the souls of the dead, which is pretty chilling already. Chilling enough, you might think, for a game aimed at children. But try telling that to the Pokedex writers, who add the following horrible detail that Lampent hangs around hospitals waiting for people to pass on, which is so freaky we could almost pass out with fear if not for the worry that we'd wake up in the ER with Lampent hovering by the door hoping to steal our soul, the glowing little grave robber. That's it, I'm never going near a hospital again. I mean, this lamp wound will probably get better on its own, right? I mean, it's going black, that means healing, pretty sure.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Golbat!
Worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, is this going to be about blood?
Clearly, there was never ever going to be anything good about Golbat, a Pokemon whose main deal is having a mouth so large that you could drive a car straight through it. But you shouldn't, because it's full of fangs. The mouth, not the car. Wait, sorry, back to Golbat. Nothing about this Pokemon has ever seemed anything less than creepy. Found in dark caves, they're best known for attacking you without warning with gruesome attacks like Poison Fang or Leech Life. So something pretty horrible would have to happen to Golbat for you to feel sorry for it, right? Well, step right up Pokemon Moon's Pokedex entry, which tells us this. Sometimes they drink so much blood they can't fly anymore. Then they fall to the ground and become food for other Pokemon. That's right, according to official Pokemon lore, Golbats often meet their demise when they guzzle down just so much blood from their victims that they flop onto the floor of a cave like a water balloon filled with gore, where they lay presumably alive until some other Pokemon comes along to burst that blood bag Golbat in its predator jaws. even creepier, because they live in the dark, who knows which Pokemon species it is that feeds on these immobile Golbats? Could be anyone. Could be Pikachu. Just saying.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's
Drampa!
Yeah!
Something weird's happening there.
Anyone who's ever seen The Neverending Story has dreamed of being friends with the fluffy, companionable Luck Dragon. Youngsters in the Pokemon world should be grateful then for the existence of Drampa, a long-necked, fluffy dragon-like beast introduced in the Sun and Moon games, who looks just like a Luck Dragon, albeit one that's eaten too many psychoactive plants. This bright-eyed beastie is actually great with kids. As Pokemon Ultra Moon's Pokedex explains, it appears in towns and plays with the children. Drampa will protect kids when they're in danger, so their mums don't have to worry. Oh nice, free daycare! But parents in the Pokemon world should probably read the small print, by which we mean Drampa's entry in Pokemon Ultra Sun. If a child it has made friends with is bullied, Drampa will find the bully's house and burn it to the ground. Yes, the so-called placid Pokemon turns incredibly nasty if its human pals are mistreated, so now you can add death by smoke inhalation to the list of very good reasons not to be a bully. Jeez, Drampa. I mean, it's probably fine though if it's just light teasing, like when we make jokes about Ellen's height. Don't think she knows a Drampa. She does have matches though.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's
Phantump!
Oh my god, that tree has a face. It has a face!
I feel sick.
If you find yourself lost in the forest, the best thing to do is to stop, remain calm, and don't let your soul get trapped in a tree stump. Also stay hydrated. But clearly people are disregarding these simple survival steps, as the existence of the Pokemon Phantump proves. This diminutive being lives in the woods, and people who enter the forest may be led astray by these wisp-like creatures, thanks to their ability to imitate a child's voice. How does a Phantump imitate a child's voice, you might wonder? Why are you asking that? That's a really weird thing to wonder. But anyway, it's because they have first-hand experience. To quote Pokemon Sun's Pokedex entry, these Pokemon are stumps possessed by the spirits of children who died in the forest. Their cries sound like eerie screams. And if you're curious to know what a child's soul stuffed into a tree stump sounds like when it cries, here it is. You know, that would make a really, really good text alert sound, but that would be in poor taste, right?
Yes!
Phantump's tragic backstory is nightmare-inducing enough already, but if you ask us, it's made all the more upsetting by the fact that Phantump isn't even that rare, suggesting that the Pokemon world has a serious problem with children getting fatally lost in the woods. Hey, Pokemon State Parks Department, I know you're probably busy, but could you not just put a sign up or something? What? Nothing? What?
Who's that Pokemon?
It's
Smoochum!
What's
I don't want to know.
what?
There are plenty of questions raised by the Pokemon Smoochum, like, what's with those lips? Is that its natural hair? If so, where does it get its hair done? Can I have that place's number? But as it happens, the first question is the one to ask, because Smoochum is all about those pouty lips, and vanity in general. Since Smoochum was introduced in Pokemon Gold and Silver, Pokedex entries have explained that it likes to check its reflection in water to make sure it's looking fly, and that it runs everywhere, but falls over a lot. Falls over a lot. That's the kind of thing we like, Pokedex writers. Not what we find out about Smoochum in Pokemon Ultra Sun. Yep, in a true fact we did not need to know, turns out Smoochum's pouty lips are extremely sensitive, and I quote, "When it examines things before touching them with its hands, it makes lip contacts and then diligently licks all the dirt off its lips." Which, one, just super unhygienic, and two, nope. For one thing, if all the dirt comes off on its lips, then... No, you know what, we're not doing this. No. It's creepy. I'm creeped out. Yeah, it's the lips. It's the whole deal. You're supposed to be my agent. You're supposed to be my agent.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's
Scizor! It's horrible is what it is.
It looks really angry, I don't like it.
These games are for children.
A lot of animals in nature will indicate that they're not to be messed with some sort of outward display of their deadliness, such as bold colouring or a prominent stinger, or, in the case of the Pokemon Scizor, giant serrated clamps for hands. So we were already pretty wary of Scizor on account of it being a metal insect brandishing two nightmarish sets of pinking shears. But that was before we read its Pokedex entry in Pokemon Ultra Moon, which states, once it has identified something as an enemy, it will continue beating them with its steel-hard pincers until there's nothing left but scraps. I mean, I'm no expert on pathology, Scizor, but it feels like it would take hours for you to reduce a body to scraps with your big clangy pincers. I mean, I'm kind of trying to beat the Elite Four here. Don't really have time for you to... Oh, whoa! No, it's fine, Scizor. You take as long as you need. I am not your enemy. If it helps, try to imagine Scizor as a kind of sentient garbage disposal, with exactly the amount of noise and organic mess that implies. Not that we don't love having it in our party, it's the best, for sure. You want to get in the Pokeball now, Scizor? No? That's cool. You want me to get in the Pokeball? Yeah, it's fine. Not a problem. Just, we can make this work somehow.
What? I'm gonna change it. Oh, you know what? I wouldn't have this ringtone if parents in the Pokemon world didn't just let their kids go off on their own and get turned into Pokemon. Seems to be a running theme in these. But those are some of the creepy Pokemons that we found and were like, oh, that's a bit weird. And there are some others that you can go and see in our old video. Make sure to go check that out. And also, if you like Outside Xbox, go and see them playing some horror games and see how they handle that. Spoiler, not very well. But also, if you really liked us, click the subscribe orb, which I'm hoping is not haunted. No, it's fine, isn't it? Click the bell just in case I get rid of the ghosts.